Welcome to the week that was. I'm Ed Greenberger. As President Trump recovers after catching COVID-19, he has a lot of ground to make up. Here's a live look at his poll numbers. Okay, maybe it's not that bad, but Trump trails Joe Biden nationally in the polls by double digits with just a few weeks to go and with millions of votes already cast. In other words, Trump is down 34-13 in the third quarter with Blake Bortles at quarterback and the Goodyear blimp about to crash into the stadium. But don't worry, Trump fans. He has a plan. A galactically stupid plan, but a plan nonetheless.
He has experience now fighting the coronavirus as an individual. Those firsthand experiences, Joe Biden, he doesn't have those.
That's Trump Campaign Communications Director Aaron Perini going with the intriguing "my candidate was a stupid doofus and caught a deadly virus. What has your candidate ever done?" approach.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Bold indeed. Trump might be onto something here, though. Lots of possibilities. Hey, Joe, nobody knows the economy and finance like me. Have you ever paid off a porn star you banged while your wife was pregnant? And nobody understands the Constitution like me. Article 2, Section 4, impeachment. You were in office 47 years, Joe. You weren't impeached a single time. The vice presidential candidates held their debate Wednesday night in Salt Lake City. And if you've ever had a mother, you're probably still trying to recover from the flashback-induced trauma.
Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I want to add, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. $1,000
He said he's
a
going to
year.
repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well,
I'm speaking.
it'd be important if you said the truth.
If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then have a conversation, okay?
Whoa. Grown men and women all over America who were watching that just started picking dirty clothes up off the floor. I flossed for the first time in 35 years. It was actually a pretty good debate, but after the geriatric cloud screaming we saw 2 weeks ago, a middle school student council debate would have looked like Lincoln versus Douglas. The big winner, though, was the fly that landed on Mike Pence's head and stayed there for a long time, probably because it got stuck in the Tresemme Ultra hold. Twitter exploded when the fly landed. There were Jeff Goldblum jokes, a lot of "help me." One Trump supporter from Wheeling, West Virginia even tweeted the fly was a triggered, butthurt snowflake cuck. But the fly got the last laugh when it was announced the next day he'd been installed 6th in the presidential line of succession. That wasn't the week's only debate news, as President Trump recovered from the coronavirus, which we now know he contracted at some point in the last 15 years. He sent some, well, let's just call them mixed signals after the debate commission announced the second presidential debate on October 15th would be a virtual one.
I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous.
That was Thursday morning with Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo. Later that day, Trump's campaign said it would be open to pushing the second debate back a week so it could be in person, but that they would still need a third debate the week after that on October 29th, which is only 5 days before Election Day. The Biden campaign told Trump to suck it, and since Trump backed out of the virtual debate, they had agreed to a Biden-only town hall on ABC on the 15th. Then the Trump campaign made their third announcement of the day, saying the president would be fully recovered by the 15th, so the in-person debate was back on. To which Biden said, "Hey, I thought we told you to suck it." The week's most stunning news, outside of the Trump campaign thinking virus negligence was a winning argument, was the FBI announcing the arrest of 6 men who were allegedly plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, take her to Wisconsin, try her for treason, and possibly kill her. The FBI says the men began planning in June, just weeks after President Trump tweeted, "Liberate Michigan," in response to Whitmer imposing major COVID restrictions in the state. Here's Whitmer after the arrests were made on Thursday. What she's saying is important, obviously, but once you see her sign language interpreter, nothing else will matter.
Just last week, the President of the United States stood before the American people and refused to condemn white supremacists and hate groups like these 2 Michigan militia groups. Stand back and stand by, he told them. Stand back and stand by.
Holy moly, that woman was rocking it with some serious stank. And I don't even really know what stank is. Back to the actual story. After the news broke, it took hours for Trump to comment on the bunch of nut jobs scheming to kidnap and kill the governor of Michigan in the wake of the president's call to rise up against Whitmer. Here's what he finally tweeted. "Governor Whitmer of Michigan has done a terrible job." He continued, "Rather than say thank you, she calls me a white supremacist." That is peak Donald Trump. How did that conversation go exactly in the Oval Office? Sir, don't you think you should probably say something empathetic about the Gretchen Whitmer thing? After all, the woman was almost kidnapped after you basically begged them to do it. Good idea. Let's see, empathy. Governor Whitmer of Michigan has done a terrible job. We're basically living in a 4-year-long episode of Veep. Thankfully, that episode seems to be coming to an end. Personally, I think Biden's going to clean Trump's clock, but I understand the left's concern after what happened in 2016. Don't worry, though. I figured out how to know for sure who's going to win this election. All I had to do was travel 35 years into the future and ask myself. What's up, old me?
Who the hell are you?
I'm young you.
I was never that good looking.
I'm using a filter.
What do you want, jerkweed?
I was hoping you could tell me what happened in the 2020 election.
You got an erection?
What? No. Well, okay, yes, but forget about that. Who won, Trump or Biden?
You'd love to know, wouldn't you, you little whippersnapper?
Yeah?
Well, what's in it for me?
If you tell me I won't eat McDonald's so much.
You think I wanted to live to be this old?
It's that bad, huh?
I haven't pooped in 8 months.
Ugh. Wait, is that even possible?
Who knows? I have to rely on what the doctor tells me because my memory only goes back 5 minutes.
That's not good.
Who the hell are you?
I'm young you. I'm trying to find out who won the 2020 election. Hey, time travel is exhausting. You try it sometime. That's the week that was. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the circle. My wife says if I don't have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month, she's voting for Trump. Don't forget to check out my other Week That Was videos. I'm Ed Greenberger. Stay safe and healthy, and vote. See you next week.